You're listening to In My Humble Opinion with Maxilia Robinson and Charles Lewis. Only on 101.3 Jams.
Bottom of the show, top of the hour. In My Humble Opinion talk show. Still here because we never left. And thank y'all for staying tuned. Really, really thank all the listeners, all the supporters, all those chiming in on our media, on all our pages, calling in, texting in. We appreciate y'all because we are here for y'all. What we say, Razor, we taking Seville to the world and bringing the world to Seville.
Yes, sir.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And you're here with the Queen Bee of this throne, Miss Max.
I'll take it. Yep. Back to just more conversation about Black love. And another important topic that came to mind as I was thinking about this is just the support that people in relationships need, right? And what how we can support them. And I'll just be very honest with you. In recent time, Miss Lewis, Charles's wife, I feel was my saving grace in a lot of in that particular situation that I was dealing with, just because she was a friend and a shoulder to cry on, and she kept it 100, and she was optimistic, even though circumstances didn't look so optimistic, and it was exactly what I needed in that moment, and I'll always be grateful for that. But again, it's the support that we need in our relationships that help us to stay in them, to make them better, to be better versions of ourselves for our significant other and things like that. Because not all support is good support. And I think all of us can speak on, what has either proven to be beneficial to you or that you see as beneficial that someone would need as they, just deal with relationships.
Yeah. And Max, let me remind the folks too, if they're enjoying this Black Love special today, which I'm sure you are, make sure you share online. Want to make sure that we plug that. Share this on your pages. You can do it every Sunday for us if you're so pleased.
Right.
But please do that, because this is some good convo, Max, and I appreciate that. Really do. Yeah. So fellas, I think
the thing we all can agree on is that we need support. Like, sometimes we feel like we're either out there on an island, whether that's, we tell ourselves that or we put ourselves in that position. But the truth of the matter is that things are much more easier when you have somebody, in your corner, letting you know you can and giving you some words of advice to be able to, get through things. So, yeah.
Well, like I got something on top of my brain, so I'll go ahead and shout it out. It's like, it's not enough, because I hear people say a lot of times that married people should only hang out with married people. I don't agree with that, and I can tell you from experience, I don't agree with that. Because just because you're married don't mean you got it together, right? And so that ain't the end all be all. What it is like you said earlier, Max. It's about setting boundaries, but also being around the good influential people. I'll give y'all a perfect example. Like, there's some folks that I know that, like that if I call them, we wilding out. But I got a brother that I'm sitting beside looking at.
See, this is what we're talking about.
That keep me in check. And I'm being straight.
I keep you in check.
I'm being straight up.
Oh, okay, I do that. That's me. Hey, Marshall, you're right. I keep him in check.
I had him dancing.
Hey, look, he hit the panic button over there.
Oh, you weren't supposed to tell her about the helicopter.
He didn't know which side of the fence he was on.
Where we going, John?
I see that.
Which way we going, John?
The heat went up here in the thing. Like, his whole back was sweating. Like, what you about to do to me, brother?
The secret helicopter is only supposed to be told to certain people.
That is funny.
To the back cave.
To the back cave.
But really, like for couples, I think that's great though. I think because what I've seen is, like, you gotta have individuality. You gotta be able to have your own friends, like your own safe space. Because fact of the matter is, something that we learned in our marriage is that it's different. And I hear people talk about being best friends and stuff like that. Yeah, like that may work for some people, but if we're totally 100% completely honest, When me, Razor, and Aaron are together, we can joke, we can laugh in a way.
Yeah.
And that takes nothing away from our significant others. But when you with the boys, like that kinship is just different. That does not mean that your wife isn't or your girlfriend isn't your friend.
Not at all.
But you have like different friends, like that, like put you in different zones. That's why I said it's all about the boundaries and the expectations. And definitely got to shout out Aaron because like we touch base on, like with each other because we both know neither one of us are perfect. So to have a brother that can be real with you, you know what I mean? Like that when you up, can bring you down a little bit, and when you down, can bring you up a little bit, and just be, whether you right or wrong, can still be real with you. And that's what you need. You need real people in your life, male or female.
Yeah, you can't, and specifically with relationships, I think one of the things Max was talking about is we were talking about advice. You really have to have people that are balanced, not only balanced, but a friend is going to be honest with you. And if you have a bunch of people that are not being honest with you, I would just say you don't really have any friends. You just got. I was watching this zombie thing on Netflix. You got zombies walking around.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, they dead bodies.
Yeah.
They're just dead bodies because if you don't have people that are going to be honest with you and tell you things that you may or may not want to hear, normally 99% of the time, especially me messing with Charles, if he tells me something I don't want to hear, it's probably because it's something I need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah, you get me
Probably
like that.
it's probably something I need to do.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it's all about just, man, I think we have to get, when Max was talking, I thought about the term I kept hearing in my brain was insecurity and how insecure people are. Like if you're a woman, but, I don't want you hanging out with your homies. Well, first of all, if he has homies that are not running around acting a fool and are operating with some integrity and some dignity, my thought process is you actually should want him to be hanging out with those people. Vice versa with women. Same thing. As a guy, well, why are you going out? Well, if she has friends that are that honor your relationship and want you guys to be in a good, healthy space, they're also not going to be putting you in positions to where your integrity is going to be compromised either. The problem is people don't have a level of discernment. Again, they don't know that because that's not even something that they're looking for.
If your girl got to be with you every time you with the fellas,
bro, come on, man.
And if you got to share Facebook
she going in
page,
the trunk.
because don't nothing say more than a share Facebook page.
Yeah.
Sweet
Jesus.
That's right, I said it.
Hey, look.
It's like, bro, come on, man. Like, remember what was the dude, homie, Doug Christie? Remember Doug Christie? Used to play for the Sacramento Kings, and he was like, his girl was on Love and whatever, one of them shows, and Jackie Christie, crazy as heck. She's like, well, I'm making sure that he ain't messing with no women, and I'm going on the road with him everywhere. Yeah. And after a while, he even said, he was like, I wasn't messing with no women, but you just came anyway.
Yeah.
You know, there's a level of insecurity that's there that people need to talk about because that's not healthy for a relationship.
Right, it's not
either.
healthy.
Yeah.
You got to go be yourself. I got to be myself hanging out with Charles and his lady. It's just, because then when you guys come back together, like Charles said, it's just people have to be themselves. As a couple, you're one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And as individuals, you're different.
Right.
How you are as a couple is totally different than how we are as individuals.
But Razor, some people got to grow to that point too. Like
Absolutely.
So Aaron,
I
get what you're saying, but I want to kick the Razor for his comments. Yeah. But there's some people who, like being and part of that communication and honesty. Because there's been times in my life too, and I'm to other people where it's like you need those checks and balances until you get your mind right.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Some people need.
And and then speaking from a mother perspective, female perspective, it was for me that was hard to get to that point, only because I was putting everybody else's needs, I felt like, above my own. The kids need me for this, or I need to be here because you got to clean the house, or I got whatever the case may be. And so setting aside time for myself just wasn't a priority. And then when I needed to do it because I was just beyond my limits, then I don't know, things had gotten bad by that point. So I had to learn that it was okay to prioritize myself, and that in fact I needed to do that in order to be good to anyone else that I was around. Right. Yep. So I completely understand what you're saying.
What did they tell you on a plane? Put your safety vest on first. There's a reason for that. The same thing as self-care. Can't help nobody else till you help yourself.
What you think, Razor?
My story is a little different. I'm thankful that I have Charles and Aaron in my corner, but
Appreciate you, bro.
I also want
Just Charles, not Aaron.
Aaron have you on helicopter.
Yeah, right. Nah, Aaron been around me the longest. You know what I'm saying? Longer than both of y'all too.
Man.
But this kind of goes out to like the barbers and beauticians right here. Like we have all been people's sounding board for a long, long time. While, y'all two are talking about what y'all talking about, and y'all got a couple people. Back when I was like really into barbering, I might go through 40 people in a day. I knew when most marriages were on the rocks from the male and female side before most people. And most barbers that are established have the same stories that I do, right? So then you find yourself being everything for everybody else and have no time for yourself, right? Because then, which, we fell into this problem ourselves, is that the world listens to me, but it's hard to get your own house to listen to you, right? Not realizing that sometimes when you go into your house, you're bringing 70, 80 spirits right along with you from the stories that you brought inside, right? So, which isn't fair to anybody that you're in a relationship with. And barbers, I'm telling some of y'all this, and y'all know I'm telling the truth, is that you start judging what your partner is going to do and say because of the stories that you didn't just listen to for the past 8 hours. So you have nowhere to really download to, because when you go to try to find somebody, everybody wants to talk to you and tell you about what's going wrong and their problems.
So you saying the barbershop is the man's version of waiting to exhale?
Dude, man, what you talking about? Like, look, barbers are shaking their heads right now. Yes,
Love should have brought your ass home last night.
yes, indeed. That's funny. But, so.
Oh, no, that's Boomerang. My bad.
A lot of what I needed is solitude. Like, I needed to get on my motorcycle and ride to work. I used to, for like 5 years straight, I used to get on my bike, ride across the mountain to Massanutten, then ride to the barbershop every single day. That was what I did, right? Because when I'm going across the mountain, I can't focus on nothing else but those curves and those cars and those rocks in the road. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that helped me download, before I go in, before I had to be a vessel to take on and talk to everybody, at least 15 minutes at a time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when it comes to self-care and self-love, people that are in those positions where people rely on you, and I never want anybody that turned to me for help to ever stop. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't be talking to me if you had somewhere else to go. And, so to whom much is given, much is required. Absolutely. Yeah. So without any schooling or anything, if people find trust in you, whether it's a barber, beautician, or the man who gets your trash, you know what I'm saying? If you know that you're helping people along the way, that's your job, man. You just got to hope that somebody.
Oh, no. Razor, let me tell you. So I have a friend who was dealing with some issues in her relationship, and everything was always something negative. Like, everything was. And I found that it was pulling me way down to even have a conversation with her. It was everything was just so bad. And I couldn't accept, like, I reached a point, and I told you about this. I reached a point where I was like, I can't talk to her for a little while, because she just send me to a place every time I do. Yeah. So it ain't,
you can't let people drain you,
Yeah.
Everybody's built different.
Right. Everybody's different.
Everybody's built different. Some people can't take one. Some people can take 100. Everybody's gonna have a breaking point, though. Just like she just said, like you, and unfortunately, you probably won't know when you've hit your breaking point until it's too late.
I think the other thing about advice is that it's advice.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's real simplistic, but it's just a point of view from somebody, but you're not with that person. You're not with them every single day. You just have a point of view from what you're observing. So at the end of the day, you still have to make your own individual decisions. Yeah. The key thing is, in biblical we always talk about, which is wisdom, is that does this person have a level of wisdom that I should be listening to? So it's like when I go to my dad, I know 99% of the time my dad is going to be coming to me from a perspective that is going to help and benefit me long term, not for the moment. Because Charles and I know we got friends that be like, man, look, if it was me, bro, if it was me right now, you know what I'm saying? Bro, that might make me feel good today.
Yeah.
But you setting me up for a car crash in 3 weeks.
Yep. They just pulled the brakes off the car.
Yeah, and Max, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
I was saying, Max, last thing I had before your next topic was comparison kills. Y'all ever heard that term before?
Get off the gram.
Yeah, y'all ever heard that term? Yeah. Comparison kills. And you're right, Aaron. It's like whether it's you thinking that somebody's real life is their social media life, but I'm really, Max, talking about couples, right? Because a lot of times we go into our relationships and we think that it's supposed to be a certain way because somebody else got something.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why you can't, like, you just got to be on the same page in your household. Like, you ain't got to worry about it with whatever else household is doing. You know what I mean? And that's so important because we can't be judgmental. You know, like that's something that, you know, like that I've learned and we as a couple have grown to learn. It's like marriage is just that. It's a marriage between whoever's in that marriage. Not everybody's going to agree with the way that your relationship is set up. Not everybody's going to agree with the way you run your house. But they ain't in your marriage, and that's why you can't let negative people in. You know, because they won't always have the best interest at hand for your marriage.
Yep. Good advice.
You're listening to In My Humble Opinion with Maxilia Robinson and Charles Lewis, only on 101.3 Jams.